Alright folks, hello and welcome back to Downstage Gaming. I'm your host Josh, and this is part 24 of our Let's Play of Head as Code. When we last left off, Jesus. Alright, so we learned that H is Hannah and G is Greta. Hannah did exist, but something bad happened to her, and they made an android version of her to take over for her. We don't know where real Hannah is, but android Hannah is here with us. And then we also learned that there's pods that have all of us in them, and we don't know exactly what those are for, but it sure did bother Simon a lot. But we are going to head back to this moment now, where we chose which of the three to go with here. And this time, we are going to be heading out with Jasmine. And unless I am mistaken, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the first time that we come to a lock that we can then unlock. So I'm curious to see where all this goes. This was a conundrum. I knew I argued in favor of the twins splitting up, but my gut feeling wanted me to accompany Jasmine instead. Well, that was a good thought experiment, wasn't it? We all had fun there. What are you talking about? The whole splitting up thing, you know? I still don't understand. What's a thought experiment? What I'm saying is that all of it was just not really a real suggestion. See, I want to go with the girl who I'm in love with. You know, you get me? She was still puzzled by my sudden outburst. I had to find some kind of reason to explain why I wanted to go back to Jasmine. See, I was just trying to know how you two were to better gauge you both. We're strangers, so it's difficult to know if you both were cooperative, yeah. I see. Aren't there easier ways to do that? Gee, he's saying we can go together, so who cares? Jasmine was also slightly puzzled, but she didn't let it show. Instead, she understood what I meant to do and clapped her hands together. Perfect then. Let's go down and wait for the train. Wait, shouldn't a pair stay here to contact the others? Yeah, I thought about that, but then I realized I don't care. She wasn't entirely decided on the matter yet. I chimed in to give a piece of my wisdom now that the storm had been dodged. I think we could all head out together and explore 2 whole stations. 2 whole stations? As opposed to only half of 2 stations? Who says they'll come back here anyway? I agree. It's highly unlikely everyone would choose to come back here every time we do a station or another. It's probably safer for everyone if we clean up the whole place and then escape together. Something was a little strange with H's proposal. For some reason, it didn't seem completely genuine. Was she planning on absconding the moment she could? Maybe it would have been better to keep an eye on her instead. But too late now. Whatever the case is, the train can take a while to arrive, so let's head down. Nobody had an objection. Once again, we formed a line to head down and leave the station behind us. Maybe we'd be leaving it for good this time around. One by one, we emerged onto the station. The train wasn't here yet. How typical. Before we left for another station, I decided to talk with some of the others quickly. Well, I mean, we're about to go with Jay's. Now I feel bad. Let's talk with the twins. Hey, I hope the whole thought experiment thing wasn't too weird. No, I still don't understand what you're talking about. Me neither. If it lets me go with H, it doesn't really matter, does it? I guess not. What are your plans for when you'll finish exploring the next station? Our plans? Like what? Like, say if you find the 9th person? Oh, that. I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to tell until it really happens. Who in life knows how they'll react to finding the 9th person? It's just something you need to experience for yourself. Yeah. It's already ludicrous to think there will even be a 9th person. If you ask me, that might be a lot of hot air. We still can't trust Smiley. I could tell the 2 of them were averting their eyes or looking slightly awkward overall. Something didn't feel right. Were they planning on leaving us all behind? I mean, of course. if these 2, whatever, 18-year-olds, 17, I don't remember exactly how old they are. If these 2 find an exit to get out of here, they're gonna leave. I would not expect them to do anything different. Were they withholding information on the suspicion that one of us was Smiley? Now that was a rather terrifying thought. decided to play it off and leave it aside. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I didn't want to confront them about it. Maybe if I didn't push the issue, they would think of us more favorably. The train's coming. You should go fetch Jay if she didn't see it. It was kind of hard to not see the train. Or hear it, I assume. I made my way to Jasmine anyway, understanding she wanted to shoo me away, and again, I wanted to up the odds in our favor. Finally, the train settled in at the station. We boarded it without hesitation. We're going to the west, so we have the pool, recreation, and reactor next. So, is the whole thing going to be this time we get the pool for some weird reason? Because that's the only one of these three we haven't been to yet. If you put their initials together, you get a happy cat. Purr. Ah, I see. Purr. That's, Simon, that's very special. Huh? A happy cat? Yeah, they go purr. Now let's sit in silence with that awkward thought for a moment. The doors of the train closed without anyone laughing at the joke. I laughed, Simon. I kind of enjoyed it. And listen, you don't always get me to laugh with your nonsense. You got me this time. I think M's behavior has been rubbing off on you. Yeah, that was weak. Difficult crowd tonight. Eee. Pulling on the old collar here. Brocane Station, garde-manger. Following that fiasco, I sat down. The train went to the previous stations we already finished with what felt like an eternity ago. There was silence the whole time. Why doesn't anybody ever want to talk during these bits? Station, Piscine. Still don't know how to say that one. That's where we're leaving. Oh, that's not fair. You two get to go to the pool and have a nice dip? Don't be silly. I don't think we'll have a dip. I looked at her. Oh, she totally wanted to have a dip in the pool. I rose up and joined her regardless of what I felt on the matter, but I also totally wanted a dip in the pool. Or perhaps, I mean, yeah. I kind of would be fine with this station if it meant Jasmine would be hanging around in bikini. Now, Simon, where are we gonna get a bikini? You need to think these things through. Come on. I didn't want to ramp up any sort of perversion, but she looked really fine. What was I thinking? What were the chances there would be swimsuits here? Probably null. So, yeah. Once we're all done, let's check back into the lounge real quick, just to be safe, okay? Nobody leave. Yeah. Your wife already left. Wife? My wife? I'm not gonna do it. I know you think I might have done it, but I'm not gonna do it. I was about to storm up some kind of retort when I realized Jasmine had already disappeared behind the open doorway, too. Whoa, hey, wait up! I ran out of the train and entered the lobby once more. I wonder which one they're gonna go to, the twins. Presumably they would have to stop at the next one, which means they're gonna get the casino. Okay. Basically, I was just wondering if they were gonna end up in the reactor, and they can't until somebody else goes there. Okay. So why this time is there nobody in the pool? I don't understand that. That's not how time works. It looked just like the others. Much like them, it also closed behind us, although these things often deal with that kind of weird nonsense. What's with the big hurry? Something doesn't feel right. Wait here for a little bit before we go up and you'll see. Did Jasmine hear something? Oh, maybe this is... Was there someone else here? Question after question ran through my brain, but I had no answer, and she didn't explain herself until... Several long minutes after the train had left, another one came by. In this one, from afar, I could spy two people. They weren't the twins. They were Marco and Ray. Interesting. If we hadn't come here this quickly, they'd have arrived here before us? So somehow we just left later the past two times? So they were continuing on. What are you doing down there anymore? Get up here already! Jasmine called for me from afar. Oh, but then they're gonna get stuck in the reactor! That's not good. I mean, it's probably the two people I care the least about, besides maybe Agnos, but she was already up the stairs. Didn't you ask me to wait down here? I didn't think you really would take me seriously. Come on now, there's a pool up here, check it out. Jump in. Climbed up at the insistence of my companion. After a brief hallway, there was an uninteresting locker room split into two sides, one for women and one for men. And finally, after going through the one for men, good, you're following the rules, Simon, I entered the room containing the pool itself. Oh my. I'm just trying to figure out if this is like you can unscramble this, but it doesn't look like it. Probably means something else. Are these colors? No, V isn't a color. Alright, there you are. How did you project your voice from here? I didn't. I just walked like a normal person. Listen, I wanted to hurry up a bit because there's something I have... She pulled out a strange key. The handle looked like the number 8, and the key itself looked like one of those old-fashioned models. What's that for? Where'd you get this? I don't know. E gave it to me earlier, and I have no idea where she could have found this, of all people, too. According to what she theorized, it might be important to unlock something. Well, of course. It's a key. A big secret, maybe. Huh. I don't think I've seen anything that would have an 8 key, unless I'm forgetting something, which I very well might be. I thought about it, but nothing came to mind. Don't let anybody know of it. It might be really, really important. Let's look for it after we're done here, okay? Yeah, works for me. Let's not waste any time. She agreed, and we split up to look around the room, which contained a few elements of great interest. I can think of a couple things, yeah. And a lot of it didn't seem to fit with what a pool should normally contain. Almost immediately, Jasmine held her nose. Ugh. Oh, come on. Oh, I see. I thought we were doing French, but it's obviously not French. This place smells weird. Don't you feel strange? A little, now that you mention it. What's the source of this, you think? I think it's the water. Is it some kind of acid? You can stop holding your nose. It's making it harder to understand you. But about the acid part, maybe? Jasmine approached the pool. She shook her head in clear, visible pain. It's making my throat itchy. Whatever these pools contain, it's not water. We can't swim here. She dropped her shoulders forward in defeat. Listen, I like a pool as much as anyone, but come on. There go my dreams of swimming around in a bikini. Now, why would you mention that? That doesn't make sense. There went my dreams to see Jasmine in a bikini. That makes sense. That's logical. I dropped my shoulders in turn, too. She caught that and held a corner smirk that I barely caught, or was it my imagination? Just do it already. Alright, let's take a look around. First, this weird paddle. Now we're getting kinky in here. Huh? What? Oh, I guess it's not that kind of paddle. I mean, listen, anything could be anything if you try hard enough. Pilfering the paddle from the ground, I looked around for its purpose. There was no boat, so I couldn't use it to swim away to victory. Oh, you could use it to grab things, like the tube, I suppose? Something else must have been why it was here. Yep, get the tube. Found the object that allowed me to bring the lifesaver over. It's a delicious treat, and since the water was acidic, I couldn't reach it with my bare hands. Carefully, I pulled the lifesaver to the edge of the pool using the paddle. How did the lifesaver not disintegrate in that acid? You can see the bottom of the metal ladders has completely melted away. Maybe it's made of something that the acid doesn't corrode? Either way, let me see the message. I had to kneel down next to the pool to see it, bring me ever closer to the surface of the acid. If I fell in there, I wouldn't come out again. Maybe just one step over, everything would end. I shook my head out of these suicidal thoughts. What the hell? I need to see the message, right. It says a lot of gibberish. In fact, those are barely words at all. They contain numbers and random stuff. I don't think this is meant to be anything. Maybe it's just hiding the real message. Look for anything special. This part here is bold. It's only 3 letters and 2 numbers, though. It says Rot 13. Isn't that a special kind of decoding thing? I see it on Twitter sometimes. I think when people use it as like a way to make a nonsense message that then you can unscramble if you want to see the spoiler for something. Oh, I know that. Are you gonna explain it to me, Jasmine? It's a substitution cipher. Explain it better than I did, please. A really easy one, too. You just substitute every letter for the one 13 slots backwards. Okay, alright, that makes sense. For example, N would be A, then. What the hell could... what the hell could this help us accomplish, do you think? I don't know. Can't think of anything. Surely there must have been a reason to explain why this was in the room. Well, let's look at other stuff first. The acid in the air is getting worse as time passes. I saw her holding her throat, visibly looking like she wanted to scratch at it. I had to do something before she fell under the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Got it. Then there's no time to waste. This looks like a job for Pizza Man. Are you Pizza Man? Yeah, that's me. I'm Pizza Man. I'll just use my laser sight to break out of here. Or I would, but the acid in the air is preventing me from doing so. Curse you, my arch nemesis. The mystical Pizza Night, huh? They say Pizza Night comes from the planet Pizzon, from where Pizza Man comes from. This is... the fact that you were going along with this suggests that you two really are meant for each other. Is that true? Yes. Until the Pizza Night is gone, I can't use my pizza powers. I'll get you next time, Lex. Alright. Machines. Machines. All sorts of machines. This can't be good this close to water. It's not water. It's acid. Maybe they're containing ghost spirits. Oh, ghosts in the machines. I see. That's a reference. Ghosts don't exist, Jay. Maybe they don't exist yet. These machines, maybe they're time machines used by ghosts. The worst kinds of ghosts. Time-traveling ghosts. They're coming back to the past to haunt us from the future. 7 machines, 7 swimmers, and the last one sat in the chair instead for a total of 8 ghosts. There are ghosts from the future after we decided to take a swim. All of us here. She cast a glance over at the water. I shook my head, flinging the thought away. No, we're not falling in the pools to become ghosts. But Simon, I'll wear a bikini if we do. What is with you? What is with both of you? You're both insane. Yeah, and so will A wear... yeah, and so will A wear swimming trunks. That's okay. Or a Speedo. God damn it, Jay. But you're right, maybe it's better this way. That way you won't be tempted by little girls in swimsuits either. Jesus Christ! I wouldn't be even if that happened. Good, less competition. What? I didn't hear that part. Mind repeating? Jasmine smiled at me. You two. I don't know what to do with you two. You're too horny. Go to... Get the horny hammer, go to horny jail, I guess. I normally hate that joke and meme, but with these two, it might be necessary. What are these? They look like some kind of telephone booths? If telephone booths look like this in Montreal now, no wonder everyone's switching to smartphones. I mean, there was a step in between the phone booths and the smartphones, but sure. I'd feel some kind of existential dread just by being near one of these. No matter how you feel about them, what do you think they're for? I don't know. I mean, are we not going to talk about the colors? I don't really want to interfere with any of them. She blankly stared at the machines for a while. Was she squinting, or was it my imagination? I'll let you handle them if you want. I'll go have a look over there. She pointed to the exit and swiftly left my company. Thanks, Jasmine. Hey, you can't leave yet. The door is closed. Put my hands in a cone around my mouth to yell my warning to her. That didn't stop her. Strange. Alright, well, let's look at this weird robot before we get to translating here. Oh. I guess it is a chair. But you gotta admit this kind of looks like a robot, too, right? Like, these are the legs, there's the arms, you know, the body, and then, like, a head. I think it looks more like a robot than a chair. It's an electrocution chair? Looked around the 4 panels of glass. I approached it to press my hands onto it, but I couldn't touch it. It was like there was some kind of force field around it. That's so weird. Wait, when did you get back? I can't touch the glass. Think we should break it? Yeah, let's try that. But with what? Get the paddle. Yeah. Jasmine snagged the paddle nearby and swung it at the glass. However, the moment it came within around 2 decimeters off the surface, it stopped in midair. Hey, don't play around. Go on, it's okay, even if we have to deal with the glass shards. No, I mean, I literally can't move it anymore. This is the most I can do with it. I yanked the paddle out of her hands to try to. I don't believe you! Same result. The panels of glass stopped me before I made contact with them. How strangely convenient. I guess we can't break this the way we want to. Okay, n equals a, so y equals a. I assume this is going to do this for me, given the way that things have generally gone. What are you doing? I'm translating ivtug over to the real word it's supposed to be. L-I-G-H-T. Oh, light. It's light. Give me a moment. I'll do it way faster. I'm a lot smarter than you. She closed her eyes. I didn't know how that would help. No, that makes sense. I let her do it if she wanted, but I let her do it if she wanted, but I also continued. If G equaled T, then this was T, H. Light through a prism. Got it. Wow, that was fast. How did you do that? I told you, I'm smarter than you. Oh, I'm psychic. Alright, Sayaka. No, but for real, I just thought it was weird that we had color-coded machines on the wall, so I sort of went with the most obvious. Didn't seem that obvious to me. Still, what did this mean? I had to make sense of it. Why was there an arrow pointing at the green machine? It's a fun pairing, the green machine. Was this where we had to start? Alright, now hold on. I can't look at my log. I need to remember what it said. I flicked the switch on the green machine. A small hum came from it, signaling it was activated. Okay, so what is this? Light through a prism. Okay, well that isn't... I don't know what that means. Okay. Green is first, so are we meant to do a full rainbow or something? I don't know. What's next after green in the rainbow? Well, you can go both ways, so it's not really clear. Let's try one of them. Okay, so I presume we just turned green on. So if we were doing it in, like, forward motion, it would be green, then blue? What's cyan? Cyan's like light blue, right? No. It's purple cyan, right? It's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple cyan, right? Hang on. Hold on. I got my phone here. I'm Googling what cyan is. Go ahead and make fun of me in the comments. It's fine. A greenish blue color. Okay, so this would come between green and blue. Alright, so then we want green cyan. I flicked the machine switch and turned on. Watched the lights flicker a few times, as if to signal that they were in fact active before they stabilized to what they'd been prior. The only difference was another humming noise added to the rest. So maybe that's right then? Okay, so green, cyan, blue. Flick the machine, yep, okay, added that. Then purple. Okay. Then red, right? Yeah. Then orange. Then yellow. Once the final machine switch was flicked, I tried doing it to more of them, but none of them changed. They're stuck. Look, something's happening now. We did it. Puzzle Masters, able to know the rainbow and what cyan actually is. I knew it was some kind of blue, alright? But I didn't know if it was like purplish blue or greenish blue. I guess also... I guess now that I'm looking at it, it does show you what the color is on the actual thing itself. But let's ignore that, because it makes me look stupid. Alright, so as I stood by, part of the glass panda was retracting into the ground, just enough for us to enter the compartment. We now had access to the strange robot chair. There's a note on the back of this chair. I don't like where this is going. It says, the code will be directly transferred to your head. Good! What does this mean? It means that that's dangerous. Don't touch it. We have to figure out a different way to get the code. Do you think that exists? Yeah, there's something else here, Simon. Of course! Smiley doesn't really expect us to sit here and electrocute ourselves, does he? He expects you to show some bravery, Simon. Jasmine walked back around the chair to join me outside the compartment. This decidedly was too dangerous. I watched her move further away. I don't know. She kicked the paddle off into a pool, making it dissolve. Well, alright. Great. Now it was a dead end and it would haunt us. Hey, what if we need that one too? Don't you get it? The acid is spreading in the ambient air. If we stay here too long, we'll die. We don't have the luxury of looking around any longer than how long we took so far. It's do or die at this point. But I'm not gonna sit into that chair. I'd rather dissolve. At least it'll give us a fighting chance. It's okay. I'll sit. What? I refuse to agree to that. You don't have to agree. I didn't expect you to. You're a really good guy, so obviously you'd jump to my rescue if this happened. But you don't know what it's like right now for me. She reached up to her head, clutching it. As she spoke, her eyes were widening as if she was in great pain. Uh-oh. At that moment, I realized that Jasmine had been suffering far more than I had ever since I woke up here. But why? What was really happening to her? I've been trying to do other things to keep my mind off of it. I thought if I was a bit sillier sometimes, I could take my mind off it. Anything, just to not focus on it. It's not enough, though. You don't have any idea what it feels like in my head. Right now, it's like there's a bulldozer running over my brain. It's like my head is full. It's heavy. It's full and heavy. Way too full, way too heavy. It hurts all the time in here. I don't know why. I can't stand it. I can't stand it! Do you understand, S? I can't stand it! She was growing hysterical, but I couldn't move. She was screaming, and I was frozen in contemplation and shock. And you know what? I have conflicting memories, too. It's not enough that it's painful. I'm confused as hell. I remember you, I remember Marco, I remember my studies. Those are fine. But I also remember other things. I don't know about those. I remember having a sister, even if I don't have one. I remember my body being smaller for some reason. Okay, I'm gonna take a pause right here. I had thought that there might be some weird connection during the bit where we, like, lose her hair and we find out that she's blonde underneath. Is this somehow the real Hannah? Is that where we're going with this? It seems very weird, and I don't know why she's also Jasmine, or has Jasmine's memories, or body, or what, but okay, alright, let's keep going. Like, I'm still a teenager, but I'm not a teen, I'm 24 years old. Very different. I'm mature. I feel off about so many things, too. Sometimes I feel like I'm being watched. Someone's spying on me with these computers, these security screens. What if Smiley watched me? Smiley's watching me with his helmet or something. And worst of all, there are a handful of people I remember, too. Like 7 or 8 of them. They died or something. I remember that. They fucking died. Who? Who were they? All my memories, they're all broken. Who are they? Who am I? Am I Jasmine? What if I'm not Jasmine? What if I'm just, I don't know, someone else? What if I'm just not me? Where is me? Who is me? I grabbed her arm to stop her at this moment. I looked at her straight in the eyes. I saw them slowly turn in their sockets until they fixated on me, still crazed. I don't care who you are. Right now, you are Jasmine. There was no point to the nicknames at this moment. We both admitted them. I don't know. Listen, people exist because their memories make them who they are. Memories and experiences. The sum of all of that is what makes them them. Yeah, I've seen people who have memory issues. They don't feel like themselves when they speak to you anymore. Ever had someone you know not remember your face? My great-grandfather eventually developed Alzheimer's to a degree where he couldn't recognize my parents, even if he recognized me. We visited him when I was younger. He kept saying how, when I accompanied my parents, I had come see him alone earlier. But that was impossible since I was accompanying my parents. He couldn't say what we spoke about. It was very terrible for him. He passed away, possibly while not even remembering his own children. I've also experienced family members who have had Alzheimer's, and it is a very terrible experience. You're not wrong. It's a part of them that left them. I'm the same. That's why. She yanked herself out of my grip and turned around, making a step towards that chair. I have to sit in that chair. I went through it. Something like that, I'm sure. I already had my head messed with. I don't have a memory disease. Someone did this to me. This chair was put here for me. Ultimately, there was nothing else I could do about it. When Jasmine made up her mind, she was serious. I could feel that energy coming from her. She sat into the chair. The clasps around the chest part closed onto her ribs. When she put her hands down under the armrest, the chair further bound her there. Her ankles were also tightly held by other automatic clasps. At that point, she couldn't move away from it. In fact, she could do nothing but turn her head. Jasmine looked at me. She was still struggling with her fear of what was to come. I could tell the glitter of that feeling deep in her pupils. Push the helmet part down. I hesitated, but under the insistence of her glare, I obeyed. Slowly, I adjusted the helmet down to her head and waited. Nothing happened. Is there a switch? Yes. You want me to turn it on? It's like asking me to participate and I can't do it, so you have to do it in my stead. And if you're apprehensive because you think you'll be the cause of anything bad happening to me... She smiled. You're just an extension of me right now. When you push that switch, it'll be me doing it. I don't intend to die, and anything that happens is not your fault. It's do or die. And if it just so happens that the Grim Reaper pays me a visit today, let's both tell him something he doesn't want to hear. Like what? Not today. I hesitated again, and then I pressed down on the switch. After having secured herself in the seat, Jasmine suddenly let out a half-hearted scream. Ah! I watched while I grew increasingly worried as the seconds passed. Jasmine? She wasn't moving. Her body was tensed up and her eyes were opened wide, almost bloodshot. She wasn't staring at anything in particular, only forward and blankly so. Are you okay, Jasmine? After about a minute, my shuddering body acted on its own. I leaped over. Grabbing the machine, I pulled onto it to try to take it apart. I was still being careful to not damage it in a way that would hurt Jasmine, though. What are you doing to Jasmine? Don't you fucking... I was interrupted when Jasmine's hand shot on to grab onto mine. She held it tightly, preventing me from messing with the machine any more than I already had. I'm... okay. Just sit tight, please. I let go of the machine, powerless against Jasmine's word. The altercation had only taken a few seconds, but soon she was released from the seat. That was really intense. She tried lifting herself up to the seat, but only managed to trip forward, not too far from the edge of the pool. I immediately launched myself to her side. I helped her up to her knees as she grunted some inaudible words. That had been quite close to turning into a tragedy. Are you alright? Did it hurt? Like I said, it wasn't my first time. In my head, I knew this sounded far different than it really was. Focus, Simon. Stop thinking of suggestive... This is really not the time, Simon. Suggestive things. Your friend's head got messed with. She tried rising higher, only to slip and fall back down. I held her to stop her from rolling into the pool with my arms, and I was thankfully successful. That would suck. Ugh. But it was very tiring. She held her head with her hand. I helped her get back further away from the edge of the acid-tainted waters. That way, if she fell again, it wouldn't be in the pool itself. Do you need some kind of rest? No, I can go. I just need to focus a little. Finally, she managed to rise up to her feet, though she kept a hand on the wall for support. I didn't know what that thing did to her. I didn't want to know, but I had to make sure she was fine. I wouldn't be able to handle losing her like this. So what did it do? Do you know? Yes, I know. Before we go, I have something really important to tell you. I could tell she was struggling with her words. What did Jasmine want to tell me exactly? It wasn't something meager. No, she had the expression of someone who'd seen a ghost. I didn't believe in ghosts, so I was hoping she wouldn't tell me about one. It's about... I patiently waited, unwilling to urge her in this state. It's about the code to leave this place, of course. All of a sudden, she smiled as if all of this had been one big farce. Whatever she wanted to tell me was gone from her immediate thoughts. Was she concealing information? Or was she just making fun of me? Or is it that she can't anymore? I chose to believe the latter instead of the former. Yet I still thought it must have had something to do with the machine. I cursed my inability to question her. Oh, you got me. I mean, the machine did transfer the code to my head, just like it said. I have the memories of that now, so we can leave this place. She walked over to the door, slightly tripping over herself in the process. I tried helping her, but she held up a hand up to stop me. I'll be fine. We need to get to go before the acid dissolves us any further. Your skin's itchy, right? Not really. Is she also an android? Maybe. Maybe. She ignored my words and continued to stumble her way out. It was so clear that she was concealing something. I didn't know what to make of it. Could I trust her still? Going through one of these again, huh? My childhood friend. It was somewhat heartbreaking if she chose to keep me out of the loop. Maybe she had a good reason, but what that was, I couldn't know for sure. If she wasn't telling me, she had a good reason not to, surely. We have to talk later, though, okay? About what? We were in the lobby when I brought it up. About this whole thing here that we just did. That you did. I didn't do anything. What are you talking about? Sorry, I mean, it's okay. Relax. Let's take the train. I didn't know which side of the station we'd even gone down. I was only following her. While she might have been concealing information from me, I didn't want to let her go alone. Typical of me. I never wanted to let her go. As we waited for the train, I wanted to break the silence, but I didn't know what to bring up. Maybe something familiar? Or just small talk? You know, ever since we woke up here, we haven't really talked about anything else other than this place, huh? She nodded slightly, but gave no verbal acknowledgement. It was like she wasn't there. So I thought maybe it would be nice if we did? Once again, Jasmine nodded at me in a dismissive fashion. I furrowed my brow as I grew annoyed with her lack of enthusiasm. What was happening in her head? For instance, what about your drawings? How are they lately? And once again, I was given a nod in reply. It wasn't even a reply that was proper to my current question, even considering the verbal acknowledgement accompanying it. This time, I grabbed her shoulders. Jasmine, I'm talking to you. Are you a zombie? She finally woke up from whatever daydream she'd been having. Perhaps it hadn't been a daydream, but a day nightmare. Oh, what? Oh, right. What was it again? Your drawings. They're still doing great, yes? Yes, of course. My drawings are doing fine. I'm just thinking a lot. Sorry if it looks like I'm ignoring you. I highly doubted I was going to get a sensible conversation out of her for the time being, but I tried something else anyway. Okay then, here's an easier one. What's your favorite color? My favorite color? You already know that. Just answer it. It's banter. Okay. I don't know, maybe green? No, wait. Blue? Her words gave me pause. I knew she liked the color blue. She always used it in every picture she made somehow, no matter which shade it was. I knew this because my favorite color was also green. I also knew it wasn't her favorite color at all. Kind of weird for her to use her favorite color in every... I mean, assuming she's doing this for, like, business and stuff. There's gonna be some stuff that you're just not gonna want to use blue in, I assume. So indecisive. For a moment, I thought you'd answered mine because you wanted to have things in common, but then you changed your mind. I thought it might make her blush a little, but there was no reaction of that sort. Oh, how strange. I could tell she still wasn't all there. All the non-committal answers were pushing me towards one conclusion. Whatever happened with the chair had been much more important than I thought. The atmosphere grew tense. The train was still not there. I needed to solve this issue before we went inside, because I wanted to save my friend. Whatever demon inhabited her head had to be purged somehow. All I could do was speak to her, but about which topic? Two came to mind, directly confronting her about the chair, or obliquely bringing it up by talking about the key. Did she know something I didn't? Did I have the courage to mention the chair directly? Was it just a better idea to talk about the key for other reasons? Alright, well, for the first time ever, I'm going to dramatically leave us off here at a choice. I don't know how relevant these choices are, if it diverges another path. But we'll have to find out next time. I'm gonna mull this one over in my head and think about which one I think is a better one to pick. Until then, this has been Downstage Gaming. I have been your host, Josh, and I will catch you all next time.